Hello, this is Gerald Elvamas. Last night I was thinking, okay, I have to uh, provide some examples in video recordings that are expressing words that have a very clear definition that every very easily knows what it is and what form it has and all these kind of things. So short words that are very easily expressed and that I can also express quickly and clearly. And I was thinking about a certain word. And when I woke up, I remembered. Okay, yes, it had a word at the letter S, the letter C, and then the letter P. And I really didn't remember the word, but I said, okay, I promised. So uh, I will. The only word I could think of was scope, and I think, okay, then I will do scope. The scope is not really that clear word, because yeah, to where goes that scope? It will describe that scope. I have to find that scope, even in the word. So okay, let's do that even then, and let's go to investigate uh, and learn also with me what each letter individually also has as a scope, so that we come to more clear definitions. So in a way, it's good. It is a good opportunity. Let's go and find out what's the scope or what's the range of each letter, so that we can derive it to a very clear view on what the scope is describing. My theory continues where it left off from the other videos. The theory is about letters, and each letter has a specific position in time and space, where it has a certain behavior, and there's a reason for this behavior. It's described in various ways, and you have to learn this balance a little bit. And in a way, you can use sometimes simple definitions, but there are a couple of things that you need to know. But I will try to show you examples that you come to these aspects, to sense these aspects as quick as possible. But let's first find out about scope. And I will try to also be a bit more clear in my visions, not too much rim-ram and details. So here's my vision towards the word, where I will place all the letters and in the right balance. So how I sense that balance. We have an inner ear with the balance. We have a visualization with a sense for order in balance, mostly in an order of 3, because it makes it easy. So when I see here, this is me in front of the watcher, and I watch me and the other as when I start to compare. So it's either my foundation, a comparison, or the background. Very easily said. There are some distinctions that come back each time, that return each time, that are repeatable, that are universal principles, like middle and far away, not far away, and so on. The 3 kinds of focuses that are very distinctive is that one which is about things that you can keep close and keep an eye on, to a very clear point in the middle where you can find its placement. 9 letters are used for that. Another couple of letters in the numerical order you come to these letters. You will, in the Pythagorean numerical order, the next 9 letters will, or 10 letters, will describe all its moves and changes, so from start to finish, all related with time. And the last couple of letters, they give you a little bit more context, that you know where to look for, and where to make a small adaptation, that the things are not really that simple, that you can simplify them that much to a point in space, or 2 points in time. No, it has also some open values there, and when you deal with them, you need these kind of letters to describe them. Language is about describing something, but it's also making definitions. And let's go and make the definition of scope. Where's the first letter? S. It starts from the context. So we will immediately know it will be about that especially. And therefore I will quickly add the frames again. So because the frames will also tell you from where to where these focuses are. And preferably we'll have the stable element, the stabilizing focus in front of us. A little bit further away is that movement. When you have to switch our head a little bit, then of course we have movement. And when it's really at the further borders, there you will find the contextual associations. The letter S is in the last category, so that's why I designed it so quickly, a little bit larger. And what will happen actually is that the last category has these open values. So it's like on the horizon. It's also this. Also there you have this infinite horizon where it disappears, where you really don't know where it will go to. Theoretically, you know, but it could go endlessly. It could go endlessly further. There's a part which you really are not seeing anymore. It's this infinite factor, which is also used for calculations, of course. And where does the S fit in that category? It's almost the last letter in the system, and it is when you have the categories in each section as well. In the categories of the contextual letters, it's near the end. It's the last level, let's say. First level is about starting points. The next level is about developing references, and the last category, always in these three, in these 1, 2, 3 levels, is about limits or ranges that you can see. So it is really all the things that are quite far away, and they have at the borders, it goes to where you don't see it, to beyond the horizon, to the infinity and so on. So there will be fluctuations, and it is that white bow at its limits. So there is the S. So to see what is the S, look at the right, to the left, to the top, in three focuses. That's also fitting to the theory, and you know very well where you have it. Well, preferably we will have our focus concentrated into one point, and that's where I put the omega there. It's our center point of view, in which all the fluctuations are like an omega around us, and we can follow them more or less, and that's what the S is describing. I'm just describing the letter now. Second letter is C. Where's the C? You have it there in the first category, the placement. And preferably, of course, it will be also about what we focus, our focuses. So it's returning back to our focus, to the trying to be as objective as we can. Try to focus also that what do we really have, because spreading our vision to all sides, and because all things are moving and changing all the time, it's not very practical. We focus again. We try to focus, keep it back into our control as a starting point, as what is different. And that's why I already put the omega there between the eternal changes. The omega will keep this focus together, that there is an omega, or what's the English word, a turning around a circle, a circular point, of course, that you also have, like all the planets go around a sun and so on. This is about our focus. We go back to the focus. The focus is in C, and in fact it's returning back to its center point of focus, but it focuses, of course, on the limits, on the edges, on what is all surrounding us with a center point. And then we can keep our focus together. That's our goal, that's our main goal, and that's why we will perform also when we look at the left to the right and to upper thing, when we see a move or change. So it is that sense of control that you have there from the middle onwards. But of course, all the was S always started from was a little bit of out control. These are all the out of control variations of our visions, of the last effects and ideas of our visions that are really still there. The outer effects, the last effects, the outer regions of what we can see. There it is already somewhat out of control. It's at the last, it's one of the last letters in the system. It's there as the end and lasting effect as what is left over and so on. What can we do with it? We don't know at this point, but we will use some of the letters to help us to concentrate, because simply concentrated from the middle, we still have these variations, uncontrollable variations. So what we will use to have a bit more control over from our center point of vision, we use the next letter, that's the letter O. The letter O is in the second category. The second category is following the changes, following the moves, following these variations during time. It's about time. During a time session, it follows the evolution, it follows the moments of and starting points of moments even of all the material that changes the whole time. So that's the letter O. And the O can be used as, because we have three focuses, it can be used separately as well. When we see a move, when we see an evolution, we go to some starting point and see a starting to end point and see what variations we can see there. And of course, we will use therefore the control. What can I see? What is the range that I can see the variations? That's the control again over it. The fourth letter is one of the last letters then is the letter P. Where is it? The letter P is, or was it the last letter? The letter P is in the third level of the second category. The second category was about timing as well, and this one is on the third level, so it is not all about the starting points. It's not about what is evolving and changing and the material, how it's giving an order there. No, it's about the limits. Until how far can I follow it? Until how far I can reach? Until how I can reach with my focus to see the results. And that's the last letter in that timing, so it is focused upon the results at its limits, and that's clearly in the logic of the system. So that's what the letter P will do. So I will see, it's also there's also a geometrical aspect always, all the time, and don't use it always, but sometimes it's very practical. The first of the rows of three is horizontal, then vertical, then diagonal, and then even with 1, 2, 3 points this of focus. This one is about the diagonal points of differences that you can notice. In the S, very clearly, it goes to one direction away, another direction away. P just watches where is it going to? Where are these things going to? That's where what we follow. So we have a certain scope, a certain range, but there we follow where the things are going, very simply. And that's where it is, these old fluctuations. We keep our focus of all the changes, of all the results in a very big sense, of all what is what is going on there. So we keep a kind of surveillance on the whole range of fluctuations which is going on far away in what is surrounding us. So I follow its whole moves and changes. And in the letter E, which was the last letter, which is it's in the middle of the timings, it is about timing, it is about changes, it is about following the changes, and that's what we do. We follow what is changing. That's our focus. This focus is kept within our scope or range of distinctions, which we defined here very much. That was the scope about. Here is our range. We take only the range that we can see and follow there the fluctuations. We can do that on the left or the right, on top. It doesn't matter, but we can follow it. We can have our attention at the right spots within its own range. Everywhere it will have a slightly different range, but we know on what to focus. That's what the word is expressing. I hope this made it more clear, seen from the positions of letters alone. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.